You know how everyone says they have that one friend, the ride or die, the person who knows where the bodies are buried because they helped you dig the hole. Yeah, that was Daniel. I met him when we were 19. He held the door open for me at a campus coffee shop, then spilled his entire latte down my hoodie trying to flirt. Instant bond. Instant best friendship. We were inseparable. College, crappy apartments, late-night fast food runs, bad dates, good dates, breakups, road trips. Worse haircuts. All of it. He was always there. With snacks, with bad jokes, with a shoulder when everything else fell apart. And it wasn't like I never thought about it. You know, the whole what if we were more thing. Of course I did. I'm not made of stone, but there was always a reason not to. First, it was timing. Then it was distance. Then it was whoever we were dating. And when he met Sarah, I thought, maybe that was it. Maybe he found his person. Sarah was great, smart, funny, low-key beautiful in a way that felt real. She grounded him, balanced him out. Where he was chaos, she was calm, and I was genuinely happy for him. I mean, sure, it stung a little. Deep down, watching someone you love, even platonically, give their heart to someone else always stings. But I cheered him on, helped him pick out birthday gifts, laughed with him over texts about how nervous he was meeting her parents. Because that's what best friends do, right? You root for their happiness, even if it doesn't include you. Fast forward 2 years, they were engaged, big rock, big Instagram announcement, big plans. He asked me to be his best woman at the wedding, not a bridesmaid, not a guest. Best woman. I cried, sue me. It felt full circle, you know, like we were growing up, growing older, still side by side even if everything else changed. The wedding was set for next spring. Invites were going out, dress fittings, venue bookings, Pinterest boards exploding. Life was moving, fast. And then came that week. It was one of those gross, humid, midsummer weeks where everything feels sticky and wrong. Sarah was out of town, some work trip, and Daniel texted me late at night. Emergency margaritas, which, between us, was code for, I'm spiraling. Please come distract me before I adopt a third cat or text my ex. I showed up. We drank. We laughed. And somewhere between our third and fourth round of very questionable life advice, he looked at me, really looked at me, and said, you know, if this was a different life, I would have married you. I laughed, because that's what you do when your best friend says something half-drunk and sentimental. But he wasn't laughing. He leaned across the table, took my hand, and said, I'm serious. I froze. Because what do you even do with that? I joked, brushed it off, said something dumb like, too late, Romeo. You're already spoken for. He smiled, but it was sad. And then he said, maybe it's not too late. And right there, in the middle of a sticky, beer-stained booth in the worst Mexican restaurant in town, he proposed. No ring, no kneeling, just raw, terrified words. Leave with me, tonight, forget the wedding. Start over. You and me. I wish I could tell you I said something profound, something wise, something that made him realize how insane he sounded. But the truth? I panicked, laughed again, joked again, changed the subject, ordered more nachos. Like, that would somehow soak up the existential crisis unfolding on the table between us. We didn't talk about it again that night. He hugged me a little too long when I left, said, think about it, into my hair like some kind of tragic movie hero. And then he went home. I didn't sleep. I lay there in bed staring at the ceiling fan thinking, is this real? Is he serious? Is this some kind of test? And somewhere deep down, deeper than I wanted to admit, A tiny, reckless part of me whispered, maybe. The next morning, I made a mistake. A stupid, accidental, fate-kicking me in the face kind of mistake. I grabbed his phone. It wasn't sneaky. It wasn't planned. We had this thing, this dumb tradition, where we sent each other ugly selfies during hangovers to prove we were alive. So I picked up his phone to snap one. And when I unlocked it, because of course I knew the password, a message popped up from someone named Jess. It said, "Last night was amazing. When can we do it again?" At first, I thought, maybe it's a spam text. Maybe it's some random wrong number. Maybe. But no, because curiosity is a cruel thing. And against every screaming instinct, I clicked the conversation. There were dozens of texts, photos, plans. Half a year of secrets laid out in blue and gray bubbles. And it wasn't just Jess. There were others. Different names, different faces. Different little pockets of betrayal tucked neatly into the corners of his life. It hit me like a fist to the chest. This wasn't one mistake, one drunken night, one moment of weakness. It was a pattern, a habit, a choice. I dropped the phone like it burned, sat there on his couch, heart pounding, ears ringing. The man who cried on my shoulder after bad breakups. The man who talked about building a family, about being better than his parents, about loyalty and trust and forever. That man wasn't real. Or maybe he was. Maybe that's the scariest part. Maybe the version of him I loved was just the version he let me see. He came downstairs, grinning, holding 2 mugs of coffee like nothing in the world was wrong. I couldn't look at him, couldn't breathe. I mumbled some excuse about feeling sick, ran out the door, drove home with the windows down, the rain slicing into my face like knives, like maybe the storm could wash away the part of me that still wanted to believe in him. I didn't answer his texts that night, or the next day, or the day after that. He called, left voicemails, said he was sorry if he scared me, said he didn't mean to pressure me, said he just realized too late that I was the one he should have loved all along. Funny. He realized it somewhere between sleeping with half the city and scheduling cake tastings with his fiancée. Touching. I thought about telling Sarah. Every fiber of my being screamed to tell her. But then I remembered her face. The way she beamed, showing me her wedding dress photos. The way she once hugged me and said, "Thank you for being such a good friend to him. You're the reason he believes in love again." And I knew. This wasn't my story to finish. It was hers. She deserved better than a messy confession from someone she barely knew. She deserved the truth, but not like this. So I did the only thing I could. I cut him off, blocked his number, deleted his messages, threw away the stupid friendship bracelets we made sophomore year during a spontaneous road trip to Vegas. I didn't tell him why, because deep down, he already knew. A month later, I got a wedding invite in the mail. Their wedding. Daniel and Sarah. Beautiful cursive letters. Dusty blue envelope. Gold foil pressed into thick cardstock like happiness was something you could package and sell. I didn't RSVP. Didn't show up. Didn't send a gift. Instead, I sat on my porch the day of their wedding, drinking cheap champagne straight from the bottle, watching the sun set over my backyard, listening to the cicadas scream into the night. And I thought about love, about how it's not just about who you choose. It's about how you choose them, how you show up, how you stay. Daniel chose convenience, chose selfishness, chose himself. And me, I chose better. I chose myself. Now, I'm okay. Better than okay. Some days. I've got friends who call just to hear my laugh. A job I don't hate. A dog who thinks I'm the greatest thing since bacon. And every once in a while, when it rains just right and the air smells like wet concrete and broken promises, I think of him. of what almost was, of what never should have been, and I smile. Because some stories don't need happy endings. They just need an ending.